I used to think that getting a shredded six pack and becoming ultra successful in my business was the secret to making myself super confident around women and finally finding that one dream girl to get into a relationship with. I used to think to myself, if I had more money for a cooler car, more women will want me. If I get ripped, women will finally notice me. Are you listening, man? There was once a time I even looked into having leg lengthening operations to make myself a bit taller. I am not joking. But the absolute worst one of them all, I'm just going to focus on myself and forget about women. But man, hitting absolute rock bottom, losing my business, devastating my life's financial investments in a divorce, it taught me all the exact opposite. And in this video, I'm going to do a bit of a deep dive and show you why that is and why the kind of women you want to date care much, much less about how ripped or rich you are, and rather instead how strong you are as a man in your personality. All right, so let's get into it. And I want you to stay with me. So towards the end, I'm going to tell you about the 4 steps to freeing yourself from cycles of unfulfilling relationships with women. I'm Dan, and it's my passion in life, and I love everything to do with women, dating, attraction, sexual energy, and sexual relationships. The psychology between men and women has fascinated me for decades, and after a lifelong journey of seeking to understand all of this so that I could break free from my own patterns of rejection, failure, and settling for intolerable women, I discovered endless secrets that blow my own mind, and I love sharing them with other men so that you guys can learn the easy way. And since 2020, I've helped hundreds of men find their balls again, and as a result, find love. So let's dig into it right now. Like I said, I used to think that getting a shredded six pack and becoming ultra successful in my business with loads of money so I could buy all these material things was the secret to making myself confident around women. I thought that if I could just build my body, stack cash, and live an Instagram lifestyle that looked impressive from the outside, women would just start raining in and fall on my lap. I had it all worked out in my head. I figured once I get to that level, man, once I look the part, have the house, the car, the party, the status, then I'll be the guy women I want will chase. Then I'll be the guy women respect. Then I'll finally feel like I'm enough. Sounds logical, right? And you see it on the internet everywhere. After all, everywhere you look, it is what you see. Instagram feeds filled with ripped guys on yachts, influencers flashing watches and rented Lamborghinis, business coaches telling you, if you just hustle hard enough, success will fix your life. And part of me, most of me bought into that lie. I told myself, if I make more money, more women will want me. If I get ripped, women will finally notice me. Well, the absolute worst thought, as I said, you know what? I'm just going to give up. I'm going to quit. I'm going to focus on business. I'm going to forget about women for now. Once I make it, man, they're going to come raining in on me. And for a while, I lived like that. I went all in on the hustle, late nights, early mornings, sacrificed social life, sacrificing connection, and turning every single ounce of energy toward building an image of success that looked bulletproof from the outside. But the problem was, it was bulletproof from the outside. Inside, it was hollow. And I didn't realize how hollow until I lost everything. What's more, after helping guys professionally for so long, I see that all these IG warriors out there are the most miserable of all. And they can't find love because they as well chase the wrong things. Eventually, the business collapsed, the money disappeared, the relationship I thought was solid crumbled, and I was left standing there looking at everything I'd built, watching it burn to ash. And the worst part, it wasn't just the loss of money or success, it was the loss of my identity, man, because I realized I wasn't just chasing those things for my own lifestyle. I was chasing them because I thought they made me valuable. I thought they gave me worth. I thought they were the ticket to being enough. When they were gone, I wasn't just broke. I wasn't just struggling. I felt invisible because deep down inside, my confidence wasn't real. It was built on a surface image, a lie. It wasn't grounded in who I was. It was grounded in what I had. When that all disappeared, so did my sense of self. And here's the brutal truth I learned. Women can feel that. They can feel when a man's confidence isn't real, when it's fake, when it's brittle, when it's surface level and built on things that can be taken away. It's the difference between a man who looks like a leader and a man who is one. It's the difference between a man who acts confident and a man who fucking lives it. And I learned that lesson the hard way because here's what was happening in my dating life. Even when I got more money, even when I got more muscles and a cooler lifestyle, I still wasn't attracting the women I wanted. I'd go on dates and everything would feel like an interview. I'd there'd be no sexual chemistry. I'd talk about my achievements and goals and the business and the grind, all this unconscious attempt to impress on these dates. But deep down, I wasn't leading. I wasn't standing solid in my own energy. I wasn't choosing women. I was waiting to be chosen, and they could feel it. It's like they could sense the insecurity. No matter how many muscles I packed on or how successful my business looked. Women don't fall for the guy who's trying to prove he's enough. They fall for the man who already knows he is. But I didn't know that. Not then. And I remember the exact moment it hit me. I was sitting in my car in the grocery car park after smiling at a beautiful woman in the store and getting literally ignored. The business was gone, bank account drained, marriage over. I just sat there, gripping the steering wheel, staring at my reflection in the rearview mirror, and I asked myself, who even am I if I don't have the money, the body, the success? And the answer hit me, man. There was no one. Because I'd never built the man. I'd only built the image. And that realization crushed me. But it also woke me up. Because I realized that if my confidence could be taken away that easily, it wasn't real confidence. If my value depended on things I could lose, then it wasn't value. It was just an illusion. So I had to ask myself a deep question. What makes me valuable as a man even when I have nothing? And I didn't have an answer. That moment broke me, but it also became a turning point because I realized the problem wasn't that I wasn't rich enough or ripped enough. The problem was I wasn't grounded in who I was. I didn't have a core identity that stood strong when life hit hard. And that's when I started rebuilding, not my business, not my body, but my frame. I started asking harder questions. Who am I really? What do I stand for? What do I value? What do I want? What will I tolerate in my life? And what will I refuse to accept ever again? And more importantly, how do I lead? Not just in business, but in relationships, in conversations, in my own life. And here's what I realized. Women don't fall for the muscles. They don't fall for bank accounts. They don't fall for status. Yes, these things can help you access better circles, but women fall for strength. Not the kind of strength you build in a gym, but the strength that comes from knowing exactly who you are, exactly what you stand for, and leading with that energy. Confidence isn't about the stuff you have. It's about who you are when all that stuff disappears. And so I started showing up differently. I stopped chasing. I stopped trying to impress. I stopped trying to win approval, and I started leading. In conversations, I didn't try to entertain women. I led them. I challenged them. I wasn't afraid to push back. I wasn't afraid to say, yeah, well, that doesn't work for me. I wasn't afraid to walk away if a woman didn't meet my standards, but without being a butthurt dick about it. I wasn't afraid to hold the line. And the more I did that, the more everything changed because women could feel it. They could feel that I wasn't trying to prove something. I wasn't afraid to lose them. And that made me magnetic. And the first time, I wasn't attracting women who were looking for an easy target to take advantage of and manipulate or get a free meal ticket from. I was attracting women who wanted leadership, who wanted strength, who wanted a man, not his things, a man who wasn't afraid to take charge and be unapologetic about who he was and put her in her place occasionally. And that changed everything because I wasn't living to impress anymore. I was living to lead. And that's the shift I'm challenging you to make. Stop chasing surface level validation. Stop thinking that the next six pack, the next business deal, the next car, the house, the success is going to fix the problem because it won't. The problem isn't on the surface. The problem is that you don't know who you are underneath it. And until you fix that, nothing else will work. So here's the framework that changed my life. Step one. It's an identity audit. Who are you without your job, your money, your body? Who are you when it all gets stripped away? What values do you stand on? What do you believe about yourself that cannot be shaken? Write it all down, okay? Step two, set standards. What will you no longer tolerate in your relationships? Which behavior crosses the line? What are your non-negotiables when it comes to your relationships? Write them down and commit to them. If any woman crosses that line, you walk. No questions, no apologies. Learn to love the conflict and the discomfort that comes with that. It's crucial. And step three, lead the frame. Start leading, stop doing things for her and start doing things for you. Plan the day, choose the place, make decisions. Don't ask her what she wants. Tell her what you want to do. And if she's the right woman, she'll want to do it with you and follow. And if she's not, well, you'll find out fast. And lastly, step four, detach from the outcome. Your confidence, it's not based on whether she likes you. It's based on whether you like yourself. So if she doesn't vibe with you and she doesn't vibe with who you are, let her go, man. Because the man who knows his worth doesn't chase validation. He doesn't wait to be chosen. He chooses. And that's the man women follow. That's all from me today on this video. So if you want further help on how to turn around your dating situation, overcome your insecurities, low self-esteem and self-confidence so that you can start going on more dates with women and get one step closer to finding that one beautiful woman to build your future and relationship with, what I want you to do is check out the first link in the description for my one-on-one dating mentorship, where you can book a complimentary coaching session with me. It takes about 7 seconds to book it, and where we'll discuss your current situation, see how I could help you to get where you want to be in your love life. On that call, I'll give you some personalized free dating advice tailored to your specific situation. Then, if you're interested, I can tell you more about the ways in which I help men conquer themselves, women, and relationships. Peace, brother. I love you, and I will see you in the next one.